All right, so we've got one block and a blanket, and today we're focusing shoulders. Anything else that you need from class today? Lower back. Perfect. Lower back, core. All right. So let's just drop in with 3 deep rounds of belly breath. Breathe all the way down into the lowest part of your belly. And exhale all the way back out. And then breathe up your spine from that lowest space in the belly. And let it waterfall down the front all the way back. Down to that space right 2 inches below your belly button. Pulling that space in so you can exhale all the way out. Letting yourself fill up from that space once again. Coming up the back. And down the front. Let's take a cleansing breath together, just releasing anything you don't want to bring into your practice today. So exhaling all the air out first. Empty, 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 empty. Filling up to the top. And exhale out the mouth. Let's do one more of those. Let the jaw hang loose on the exhale. Exhale all the air out. Inhale up to the top. And out the mouth. Then walk the hands out away from each other onto the ground. Feeling that stretch in your shoulders even in the beginning. And then start to walk as you come to the end range of your fingers walking out away from each other. Start to walk the pinkies back toward each other and don't lose the range to the sides. Yeah. And when you come to your maximum range, or you can no longer walk back, and the pinkies walking back toward each other, fingers walking out still. And let the hands relax, let the arms relax there. Sit up tall and start to stack your bones. So if your knees are pulling up and your hip flexors are pretty tight, then you might sit up on something. Just give yourself a little bit more range in the hips. And press the knees down toward the floor as you're in this Sukhasana. Breathe into your heart space and keep your collarbones pulling open. So pull the shoulders down the back. Press the heart space forward. Keep the core pulling down and in. So a lot going on here in this simple seat. Just breathe into your heart space as you inhale. As you exhale, relax into your tall spine, letting your back hold you up. Take 3 more just like that. Nice. And last one, slow the breath down, savor it as it comes in. Let it swirl into your heart. And exhale out the mouth. Let it go. Let the hands go. Let them come back to your knees. And stack your bones. So sit bones right underneath your hips. Ribs right over your hip bones. Shoulders over ribs. Neck, a beautiful elongation of your spine, the crown of your head pulling up, tailbone pulling down. Tailbone connecting you down into the earth. Crown of your head pulling up, connecting you up to heaven. Breathing in and out, grounding into the seat. And then let the chin fall down and toward the chest. And let the right ear fall over toward the right shoulder. Let the weight of the head hang heavy over toward the right side. Breathing into the side of your neck, letting the shoulders relax as you do this. One more here. Then let the chin fall heavy and into the chest on an exhale. And on an inhale, let the left ear fall over the left shoulder. Keeping your heart space open. Breathing into that whole side of your neck, the scalenes, all the way down to your pec, all the way up into your ear, your eyeball, your head. Breathing 2 more here, deep, full breaths. Yes, last one. On your exhale, let the chin come down toward the chest once again. One breath there, just to neutralize the spine. And on your next inhale, let the right ear fall over the right shoulder. Breathe to that whole side of your neck, all the way down to the shoulder, all the way up into your face. Send the breath where it needs to be. Feeling into the little spaces that like to hold on. And seeing if they can release just a little bit. Letting the weight of your head be enough here, no pressing or forcing. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Last breath here. And on your exhale, let the chin come down and back into your chest. And one more time, the left ear comes over the left shoulder. Breathing into the new space you're creating with each pass here. Allowing just gravity to do the work for you. Breathing into the stillness. Seeing what it's like when the breath is the only thing that's moving you. And last one. As you exhale, let the chin come back in toward the chest, and then slowly, like a mama cat is pulling on the nape of your neck to pull your neck back up to center. One vertebrae at a time rolls up onto each other until the crown of your head comes up toward the ceiling. Let's take a cleansing breath once again, exhaling all air out. Inhale fully to the top. And exhale out the mouth. Then walk your hands behind you. Plant the feet really wide, maybe even wider than the mat. And then tick-tock the knees side to side, windshield wipering back and forth. Maybe you press the hips up as you come to either side, getting a little bit of extension on the front side of your hip flexor. Bunny's chilling. Nice. As that feels complete, ground your sit bones once again. Cross the opposite foot in front this time. Yeah. Maybe sit up on something, especially if your knees are coming up above your hip line. That'll help your hip flexors relax a little bit and your knees come wide and down toward the floor. Yeah. Once you find that tall seat again, reach up, extending the spine as you do this, extending the tailbone down toward the floor and the crown of the head up. Let your hands press together at the top and then look up, gaze at your thumbs. And then as you exhale, bring all that energy down into your body from heaven. Pause at your heart center. Take this moment to set an intention for the rest of our practice today. Now that you're dropped into your body, let whatever bubbles up be what it is. On your next exhale, let your palms press toward the ground and consciously let that intention go, knowing that it already is. Inhale as you scoop up and around yourself. Exhale, flip the palms and press them upward, interlacing the fingers so that you can really stretch your whole arm from your hand all the way down to your shoulder. I forgot what these are called for a second. These extensions of our heart. One more breath here. Relax the shoulders. Inhale. Let the palms come apart. And exhale to press them out and around yourself, drawing a big protective bubble around your whole space. As you do this, envision the color of your bubble, the thickness, the viscosity. As your palms land, declare, I am safe. As you next inhale, scoop earth energy up into your body. Come all the way up to your third eye. Flip the palms at the third eye and press them out and around you. Expand the vision. You might close your eyes and see if you can make the inner vision match the outer vision. Or open your eyes and unfocus them. Inhale, flip the palms back toward the sky. Come all the way up to the top. And exhale, bring the palms to prayer at heart center. Take one breath there. Let's twist. As you inhale, scoop the energy up and around yourself. Exhale, open twist over to the right. Use the very bottom of your belly to initiate this twist, and the strength of your core to keep you there, even as your hands land. Inhale, find some length in your spine, some openness in the heart space. Exhale, relax into the twist any amount. Keep that left hip grounding down as you do. Keep this pattern going, inhaling to find length. Exhaling, relaxing into the twist. And last two here. Keep your core on and strong and everything else relaxed. One more. As you next inhale, scoop up and around, reach up, unwind. And exhale, fold over your legs. Keep your tailbone reaching back as you reach forward with your arms and bow as much as your outer hip will allow you to. Relax your torso, round into the spine. Just be heavy here for 2 breaths. Complete the exhale all the way to the bottom. Press the low belly in to activate the core and start to tuck the tail, dragging yourself all the way back to your seat. Rounding up through the spine, keeping your chin tucked in until the heart comes open and the head comes up last. Cleansing breath as you arrive there. And let's flow through that one more time, doing the other side. Inhale, scoop up and around yourself. Exhale, bring the palms into heart center. Return to your intention for a moment. On an exhale, let it go. Press the palms all the way down. Scoop up and around. Interlace the hands at the top. Press the palms up toward the sky. One deep breath there. Relax the shoulders. On your next inhale, let the palms part. Draw your protective bubble. Maybe its color has changed. Inhale, scoop up earth energy. Exhale, flip the palms at the third eye as you get there. Expand the vision. As you come to the edges of your peripheral, flip the palms back toward the ceiling. I always get a pop at that part. And exhale down and into your heart. On an exhale, let that go. Press down. Inhale, scoop up and around. And exhale, open twist over to the left, using the very bottom of your belly, strength of your core. As you come to the range, you can no longer go any further over. Let your hands land wherever they are, keeping that right hip grounded and your heart space leading. Use your breath to find length on the inhale. And relax into the twist any amount on your exhale. You might look over that left shoulder, but resist the urge to crank yourself into the twist with your neck. Maybe practice keeping your gaze neutral first and really initiating from the bottom of your belly, and then completing the twist by looking over the shoulder. Stay here for 3 more deep breaths, just letting the twist wring you out here. Imagining the breath filling you up with new, fresh energy. And on an exhale, flushing out the system. And last one. On your next inhale, unwind, reach up. And exhale, bow over the legs, keeping the hips reaching back. As you reach forward, lead with your heart space, long, strong spine. And then as you come to the range of your fold, allow yourself to bow and relax your whole torso. Open mouth exhales are welcome at any time to release any excess heat or energy that's building, anything you need to let go of. Last one here. As you next exhale, finish it all the way to the bottom. Press low belly in so that you can curl up, dragging your body back to center. Rolling up, keeping your head heavy until you very slowly stack your spine all the way back up to the top. As you arrive there, cleansing breath, inhaling to the top, exhaling out the mouth. Then walk your hands behind you, plant the feet really wide, and tuck the knees side to side. Nice. And let this motion start to open up your shoulders too. So really press the opposite shoulder down as you come to the opposite side. Keeping your heart space open, letting your twist come into the upper torso as well as the lower body. Yeah. Yes. As yawns arrive too, we're all yawning here. Know that in this practice, it's probably not a sign that you're sleepy, although I do have a reputation for putting people to sleep. It's probably a sign that your parasympathetic nervous system is turning on and telling your body that it's safe to rest and you're relaxing. So let the yawn come in. Let it complete all the way to the bottom. So if you typically stifle your yawn by closing your jaw, see how big you can make your jaw get. And allow it to complete itself all the way. And this will affirm to your body that indeed it is time to rest. likes those. Nice. As that feels complete, come back to center. Roll over your knees. Come onto hands and knees. And if your knees get sensitive like mine do, you might put your blanket in a spot where it can pad out your knees since we'll be on them for a minute. Place your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips. And then make some big circles with the hips. So kick them over to one side, all the way to the back, all the way to the other side, all the way to the front. Circle over the hips, smoothing out any pops and crinkles. And see what it's like to keep your arms straight as you do this. And notice that as you circle the hips, it's actually circling out the shoulders as well. We're being sneaky with the shoulders. So if you try to circle over the shoulders in this way, it doesn't quite hit the same spots, but if you keep your arms straight and focus on the hips, keeping your hips heavy in these big circles, actually gets into the range in your shoulders, traps, and lats as well. And then reverse the direction of your circle if you haven't already. Oh, yeah. Breathing deeply as you do this, using the flexion and extension of the hips on either side to smooth out those edges like soft butter on bread. As that feels complete, keep your knees where they are, right underneath your hips, and start to walk your hands forward. Oh. As you walk your hands forward, start to let your heart melt toward the floor, but keep your elbows lifted here. Keep your core on and strong. Keep your glutes activated, so you might feel the glutes mounding. You might even tuck your toes to aid your glutes in mounding here. Really active, so we're starting in this active puppy position. And then put them back in. Breathing deeply in this opening. And 2 more breaths in this active puppy. Pull the low belly in and up and in again, finding that Uddiyana Bandha. And 1 more in this way. And then slowly from top to bottom, we're going to relax our bodies into this sleeping, melting heart pose. So from the tips of your fingers, start to soften your hands. Keep them reaching wide and out. And just see if you can soften them a little bit. Soften your elbows down to the ground. Soften your heart space. Let it melt through your shoulders. Let your head relax down onto the mat. Let your belly be soft, pooling with relaxation. And then maybe you untuck your toes and allow your legs to relax. You can also keep them tucked if you can relax your legs in that position. And breathing here, allow your heart space to relax down further on each exhale. On each inhale, finding a space in your body that's holding tension. Each exhale, releasing that space even just a little bit. Maybe for this first minute, you find some movement here. So you might rock your head side to side on the mat, massaging your third eye. You might reach your hands forward one at a time, rocking side to side in the shoulders. You might flex and extend your hips, rocking your pelvis forward and back. Just feeling into the edges of this position. And then see if you can release into it, surrendering into stillness. Allow the breath to swirl through the body into all the spaces that need healing. Just let that breath and gravity do the work for you as you hold for time. And we'll be here for about 1 more minute. Stick with it for 6 more deep rounds of breath and just watch what happens. If you feel the need to move the energy with the breath. About 3 more rounds of breath here. Deep, complete exhales, making space for more deeper inhales. Last one. Exhale all the way to the bottom. Press low belly in and up. Activate that core again. Feel the fire. Tuck the toes. And then look up toward your hands. And on your exhale, hinge at the elbows to bring your hips all the way to the floor. Yes. You might have to readjust to bring your shoulders right over your elbows. And then test your alignment by grasping opposite elbow. You should be about a forearm's length apart from each other. And then bring your hands out again. Spread the fingers really wide and press them into the mat. And we'll do that same thing where we're going to come from an active sphinx into a sleeping sphinx. So we'll press the big toes together behind you and the pinky toes spiral out toward the floor. Press the low belly in and up. Really pull it away from the floor here. Press the elbows into the ground so you're coming up and out of the shoulder girdle. And fingers are strong as if you're in a downward dog, pressing each fingerprint into the ground. Legs are active all the way down. Relax your face even as you're here and keep your gaze either between your hands or up ahead of you. Just 3 more breaths here in this active sphinx. Feel your strength. Maybe you say, I am strong. And last one. And then this time from tail to crown, we'll relax. So let the heels fall wide and the toes come in. Let the legs be soft. Let the belly come down to the floor and roll all the way down to the shoulders. So instead of sinking all the way down to our ears with the shoulders, we're going to keep just enough pressure to keep the shoulders open and wide. So there's that midpoint where you're not up toward your ears and you're not pushing away, but you're at this middle ground where you can pull back and let the scapula retract behind you. And then you can allow your neck to relax here, slowly allowing the crown to drip toward the floor. And then let the hands be soft once again. And see if you can release anything that's not necessary to keep you in this position. Just a little bit of pressure in the shoulders. Everything else can be soft. You might, for this first minute, again, find some gentle movement, maybe rocking an ear toward a shoulder and back to center, making little half moon shapes. That's a half moon right now. And then eventually find stillness here. Just breathing. Let the breath be so deep that you feel the belly pressing into the ground and the low back rising up. And the exhale be so complete that you feel yourself growing heavier into the ground. And be here for just about another minute, about 6 deep rounds of breath, counting 5 in and 5 out. Falling. And 3 more here. And savor these last 2. On this next inhale in, roll that neck back up to center, feeling that mama cat pulling you back up, looking ahead of yourself. And then make a pillow with your forearms in front of you, so stacking the forearms and allowing the head to rest on top, letting your back neutralize, letting the whole body be heavy. Last breath here. On your next inhale, press your hands underneath your shoulders and press yourself back into a child's pose, hinging at the hips, bringing the hips all the way back toward the feet. And then reach back toward the feet with the hands. Let the shoulders drape over the knees and relax the head. Embryo pose, decalcifying the pineal gland, bringing yourself back into a space of safety. You might say to yourself, I am safe. Take 4 more deep rounds of breath here, allowing yourself to breathe in your own safety bubble and breathe out safety for others from within. Exhale all the air out as you next breathe out. Tuck the tail first. Keep the head heavy as you slowly start to uncurl yourself all the way back up, coming to sit on your knees, stacking the spine slowly all the way into hero pose. As you come here into hero pose, if it's a lot of flexion in your knees and it's feeling pinchy, you might put a blanket or a pillow underneath your hamstrings, between your hamstrings and your calves, and that can help if you have any pain in the meniscus or in any part of the knee, really. As you sit back on, between the heels, walk your feet a little wider than your hips and see if you can track your knees and your toes in the same direction. And then press the knees into the ground and keep your core on and strong as you walk your hands behind you, right underneath your shoulders, and press the hips up, allowing the heart to lead up toward the sky. Once your hips are up, the heart is up, then pull the chin up and back behind you with the mouth closed to stretch your chin and open up your throat. Breathing here, 2 more rounds of breath. And last one. And tuck your chin once again. Look at your belly as you set the hips back down and start to walk the hands back up to center. And stack your hands in your lap. Your right hand comes underneath your left hand, so your inner masculine holds your inner feminine, and the thumbs connect at the top, creating a circle right at your root space. The mudra of grounding, of safety, security, rootedness. Tuck your tail so that you can pull the tailbone down into the ground. Maybe imagine that space is growing roots through the floor, into the earth. Trusting in gravity's promise that you'll never float away. Breathe, relax the shoulders, relax the face. Take 2 more here. Beautiful breath. As you inhale, walk your hands in front of you. Find that tabletop position once again. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And this time, let's make some lateral movement. So as you kick your hips over to one side, turn and look back toward that hip. letting the ribs expand on the opposite side. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, kick the hip over to the opposite side, looking back toward that hip. Expand the ribs. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over. Inhale to center. And exhale, opposite side. One more round. Inhale to center. And exhale, side bend. Inhale to center. And exhale, over. This time, inhale to center. Find neutral in the pelvis, neutral in the spine, neutral in the shoulders. And then inhale as you reach the right arm up. Open, twist over to the right. Make some big circles with that top arm. Get into your full range there. Press the ground away with the bottom arm. Reverse your circle. Just getting lubricated here. And then find your big reach up as if somebody's reaching for your hand and pulling you up. And as you exhale, thread the needle through to the opposite side. Land gently on the top of that right shoulder. And then with that left hand, you might reach forward. You might press the ground away, kickstanding and allowing it to lead you into a gentle twist. Or you might wrap that top arm around the back, bringing the top of the hand to the sacrum behind you, letting the shoulder relax. Breathe into your chosen medicine. Allow the twist to wring you out. Allow the breath to be so deep that you feel yourself expanding on all sides as you inhale. And feeling yourself melting deeper into the floor on the exhale. Last two here. Let anything that's gripping release with this last breath. And then plant that left hand next to your face and press back up, reaching up with the right once again, opening over. And then let that hand land. And with straight arms, find those hip circles once again, feeling into the difference here in the shoulders and hips from when we came here last. And reverse your circle. As that feels complete, find your neutral tabletop. And then press that right hand into the earth as you lift up through the left, twisting open to the left. If you can keep your hips neutral here as you do this and find your true range in your shoulder. Ooh, climbing today, feel it. Make some big circles with that top arm. Reverse your circle as you're ready. Lots of pops and crinkles. Smooth them out. Maybe slow down at a part that feels particularly interesting. As you're ready, you find that neutral reaching up once again. And then thread your needle through to the right side. Land softly on that left shoulder. And then permission to do something different with your right arm than you did on the other side. Coming into it with beginner's mind here. Noticing what this side needs. Might be different from the other side. Might be the same. And breathe wherever you are. Open mouth exhales can help move the energy and release whatever's not serving you. Last 3 here. Last one, make it deep and complete all the way to the bottom. Then plant that right hand next to your face, and on an inhale, unwind, reach all the way back up. And then let that hand land. Find your tabletop and either come into those big hip circles again, or find that louder movement if that felt really good. As that feels complete, come back into your neutral tabletop. Then let's take one round of cat-cow, inhaling, letting the heart come open, the gaze come up, the tailbone come up behind you. Then exhaling, rounding through the spine, press the ground away with hands and knees. Inhaling back into cow. And exhaling into cat. That was 2, but don't tell anybody. Let your hips sink back toward your heels and reach the arms forward this time. Child's pose, either with knees apart, if you'd like a little bit more bowing in the spine, a little bit more of a back bend, or with knees together, if you'd like a little bit more release in the low back. Either way, let your whole torso drape over your knees. Come back into this safe space you're creating for yourself, this little love cave right underneath your heart space. Take 3 deep breaths there, breathing in. Thank you. Breathing out. I love you. Letting that love from yourself circulate back into yourself. Inhale, thank you. Exhaling, I love you. Last one here. On your next inhale, look up toward your hands and come all the way onto your belly. From your belly, reach your right arm out into a T shape so it's perpendicular to your body, and then plant your left hand next to your left shoulder and start to rotate your body up onto your right side. So you're folding up and open onto this right shoulder. And your right pec and shoulder might be so tight that you just come up an inch off the floor. That's okay. Come up until your right shoulder starts to talk to you and tell you that it's time to stop. You might have the range that you can stack your left foot all the way over onto the floor behind you. You might have the range where you can reach up and back and interlace your hands on top of each other. I do not, as you can see. Breathe wherever you are. Let your whole body relax, only keeping as much tension as is absolutely necessary to keep you in this position. Breathing into that right shoulder, breathing into this twist. Breathing into your open heart space, you might tell yourself it is safe to open. I am safe in opening. Last 3 here. Last one. As you next inhale, start to unwind slowly by placing your left hand on the floor under your shoulder. And then start to bring your hips all the way back down to the floor. And make that forearm pillow underneath you like we did after Sphinx. Letting your head rest on that forearm pillow. Letting everything neutralize. And deepening your breath if you lost it. Last one, make it deep and complete. And as you're ready, reach the left arm out into that perpendicular shape. And bring the right hand underneath your right shoulder and find that opposite side, rolling up onto that shoulder. Yeah. Let the shoulder be its own. Relax your head, relax your legs. Breathe into the spaces where you're finding sensation. Knowing that that's where your body is asking for healing. Do you want to block under there? Let the breath wring you out, taking with it whatever you don't want to bring with you anymore. bringing in fresh, new energy, fresh, new oxygen, new life. Last two here. And one. As you next inhale, plant your right hand once again and catch yourself as you roll back onto the floor. Make that forearm pillow. Rest your third eye there and just watch what crosses in front of your vision. Cleansing breath, exhaling all the air out. Inhaling fully. And exhaling out the mouth. And flip yourself all the way onto your back like a pancake. This side is done. As you come onto your back, bend into your knees and plant your feet on the ground. Walk your shoulders underneath your heart space like a little shelf for your heart. And plant your hands close to your hips, reaching down to your feet. You might walk your feet a little closer into your seat. And then press down into your hands and press up with your hips, finding a bridge pose. Keep your gaze neutral here, just watching your belly rise and fall with the depth of your breath. Take two more here. Activate the glutes. Raise the hips up even higher. Draw the knees together. Breathe deeply. Last inhale. And on your exhale, lift the heels and slowly round down through the spine, massaging the back all the way to the bottom. Yeah. As your sacrum comes down last, stack the right leg on top of the left, so the right ankle on top of the left knee. And you might want to stay here if this feels like a really good stretch on the right outer hip. If your outer hip is asking for more, can't help but have more, then bring the left thigh up and into your chest. And interlace the fingers around that left thigh. Maybe your body wants you to pull that in. Just keep your sacrum, your low back connecting to the floor as you do this. So if it starts to lift up, and back off a little bit. And breathe here, allowing that opening. Beautiful. One more here. Deep breath. And then on your exhale, pull, without letting the hands go, pull the left thigh away from you. Yeah. Get that stretch in the shoulders. And you might pulse in and out here with your breath, inhaling, bringing the shoulders to the ground behind you, pulling the knee in. Exhaling, pressing the knee out, allowing the shoulders to come up. Find your pace with your breath, pulsing in and out or holding in a space that feels really interesting. And last two here to play. As you next pull in, let that right leg come all the way over to the left side. Opening your right arm out to the right. Let the right foot land on the left side of the body. Maybe you grasp on the outside of that knee. Maybe you let the legs stack instead. Different stretch, different twist. Maybe you grab onto that right ankle and pull it in closer. Find what feels good, what serves you. Breathe into that. And play with the gaze here. You might turn and gaze over those right fingers as they reach out. You might turn and gaze over to the left, seeing what that does in the right outer shoulder. One more round of breath here. And then neutralize your gaze back to the top. Unwind the legs and point both soles of the feet toward the ceiling. Point and flex the toes, bend and straighten the knees. Rock the hips side to side, massaging the back on the ground. And then let the feet land. Little reflexology. Stomp the feet back and forth a little bit. Bunny's like, what's going on? And then walk the toes back toward the hips once again and cross that left ankle over the right knee. And seeking symmetry is not the goal here, so find balance instead, knowing that your two sides might be very different. Come to the assessment of what your body needs with an open mind. Maybe you bring that right thigh in. Maybe you interlace the fingers behind and pull it in deeper. Wherever you choose to be, breathe and allow the breath to circulate healing into the spaces you find sensation. And the outer hips can carry so much of what our body's not ready to process in the moment. So much emotional energy. You might return to telling yourself, I am safe in opening. It is safe to open. And last 3 here. Make this last one an open mouth exhale. Just be ready to let something, anything go. And then start to find that pulse with your right femur pulling up and away. And exhaling, pulling down and in. Inhale to pull the hands away. And exhale, bring that thigh back to your heart. Pulsing in and out on your time with your breath. Last 2. Next time you come into your heart space with your thigh, let that left leg pull over to the right side, the sole of the foot coming to the ground on the right. Extend the left arm out to the left and find your twist on this side. Maybe stack the knees or grab the ankle, wrap the arm around the knee. And then again, play with the gaze. Maybe you look over those left fingers, completing the twist all the way to the top. Maybe you look over to the right side instead, noticing what that does in the left side of the shoulder. Breathe into your twist. Allow the breath to be so deep you feel the wringing out. Swirling all the way to the top on the inhale. Draining all the way to the bottom. Letting it out. Last 3 here. here. Savor the depth. Savor the stillness while it's here. Last one. As you next inhale, unwind back to center. Send both feet toward the ceiling. Point and flex the ankles. Roll them out. Bend and straighten the legs. Then walk your shoulders underneath your heart space once again. Press your hands into the floor next to your hips. And maybe you want to press up and into a shoulder stand, coming up onto your shoulders, kickstanding your elbows so that you can support your low back. And see if you can point your toes up and toward the ceiling and press your hips back behind you. Yeah. And keep your gaze neutral here toward your toes. Watch if they do anything funky. And then slowly allow your feet to come back behind you. And if your feet come all the way to the floor behind you, you can unhook your hands from your low back and place them on the floor, pressing yourself deeper into this plow, gently staying on your shoulders, keeping your gaze neutral. And if your feet don't quite touch the floor, keep your hands on your low back and breathe deeply, allowing your legs to be heavy. Last two here. The next time you exhale, let your knees relax around your ears. Place your hands onto the floor behind you. And then kickstand your elbows, grasp onto your low back once again, and catch your seat as you slowly roll all the way to the floor. Yeah, finding that spot where it likes to rush. See if you can engage your core to massage all the way down. Beautiful. Yes. Once you get there, you might rock yourself side to side or make some circles with your knees on the ceiling, finding that edges of your sacrum behind you. And this is your chance to make any last movements that you might need to make your practice feel very complete or make you feel very happy. You might find a happy baby. You might bend and extend your legs. You may find another bridge pose. And when you're ready, really ready, extend your legs out wide and let your toes fall outward. Extend your arms down by your sides, palms facing up. Tuck your chin slightly and pull the crown of your head up and back to elongate your neck along the floor. And then release your whole body's effort. Seeing if you can detect all those spaces that like to grip, hold on, and giving them permission to let go just for now. Maybe it's the area behind your ears. Maybe it's your toes. Maybe it's the area around your eyes, your quadriceps. Maybe it's your forehead or your glutes. Maybe it's your shoulders or your hip flexors. Maybe it's the hands or the biceps. Maybe it's the neck or the low back. Taking one last cleansing breath on your time, in your own way. Release the task of breathing to the body. Start to allow your body to inhale and exhale for you with minimal effort on your part. Can you make it no effort on your part? Just watching as it happens. And then as you're watching this inhale and exhale occur, see if you can tune in to the EM field that your heart and your brain are creating together. See if you can feel your own vibration. Just watching the breath. Notice this EM field and see if you can grow it on the inhale. Thank you. On the exhale, pulling it back into yourself. I love you. Inhaling, growing your field. Thank you. Exhaling, pulling it back in, feeling the density. I love you. See if for this next minute you can keep your mind trained. Thank you. Expanding the field. I love you. Feeling the density. And 5 more breaths here. For these last 3, flip the mantra. I love you. Expand the field. Thank you. Bring it back in. Feel the density. Exhale. Last 2. And 1. Can return to this practice as it serves you. Continue it over this next minute or release it. Resting in Shavasana. Let the medicine of this practice seep deep into your bones. Take a moment here to register the relative comfort, safety you feel now. And starting to take the reins on the breath once again, deepen it into the lowest part of your belly. Let the depth of your breath start to guide some movement back into your body. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe taking a big yawn. Maybe curling knees into chest, giving yourself a big hug. Wake yourself up in the way that feels good to you. Slowly, with compassion, bringing all of the safety that you would bring to a young child, to yourself, as you rebirth yourself from this corpse pose into a fetal position, eventually making your way onto one side, rolling over and pressing your top hand into the ground. Take a moment to thank the earth for holding us through our practice, through our life off the mat. Then press the ground away as you come up into the seat from which we originated. Taking your time, keeping your attention directed inward. Bring your hands to your heart and send some gratitude into yourself for taking this time to nurture yourself, body, mind, and spirit. Namaste is an ancient greeting meaning the light in me sees and honors the light in you. And thank you for your practice. Namaste.